We live in a time where we have a federal government that owns 2 car companies. We have a federal government that owns the nation's largest insurance company. We have a federal government that owns or controls the entities that write almost all of the nation's mortgages, so they own or control the mortgage industry. They have now taken over the entire student loan industry. They own or control a wide swath of the entire banking industry in our nation. And as you know, just a short time ago, they've just taken over a large portion of the entire healthcare system in our country. Through misguided cap and trade and energy policies, they now want to get their fingers into energy policy in our country and take over the energy industry. I have just a question for you. Have you had enough? After all of this, that we've seen the great teleprompter language of hope and change, we now have state-sponsored companies that are too big to fail. We have a federal government that's too big to succeed. We have a government debt that's too big to pay off. And we have national leaders that are too small to do anything about it. So I ask you again, have you had enough? We now live in a country where Wall Street gets a bailout, the poor get a handout, and everybody else gets their wallet out. And so I ask you, have you had enough? We now live in a country where the President of France, let me repeat that, the President of France, Nicolas Sarkozy, lectures us on the dangers of appeasement. Have you had enough? Well, I just want to close because I know we've got other speakers, but I want to leave you with one thought. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said that the measure of a person is not where they stand in times of comfort and privilege, but where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. We live in challenging and controversial times. Our constitutional rights and freedoms are under assault. American common sense is under assault. Our financial responsibilities have been disregarded and are under assault. The rule of law is being undermined and is under assault in this country. We now have a federal government who believes their powers are so broad and so deep that they can reach down to individual citizens and require you under the force and penalty of a fine to buy a good or a service, namely health care. I ask you, have you had enough? So it is time to fight back. I am delighted and honored to be here with 2 of our nation's great leaders, Governor Sarah Palin and Congresswoman Michelle